Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, KiaSimone, and y'all, I have gotten my fill of drama this week, but it was not from this TV show. They have had it going on this internet. I started to come down here and talk about the distraction of a drama that is Cardi B and Offset, but then child, I was halfway through making my video and I found out one of the tweets was fake. The lady said, I ain't write that, I ain't never said that, I ain't never told y'all I was nowhere with nobody homeboy, so cut the bush. I said, well, let me set my misinformed ass down somewhere before I come on here talking cash. Child, and Boosie and his hypocrisy is on an internet world tour. We got two red bones kissing in the back seat on the internet, bringing adult scrippers to break his minor children into adulthood. Boosie talking about how he don't want his LGBT, daughter to come to the family functions with whoever her little yeah is, because he don't want her rubbing off on the kids after you done had strippers rubbing off on them. I said, Chuck, let me just go down here and review my damn TV show. That's something. We'll talk about them stuff later. Let's get into this episode. Before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you've not already. Now, this episode starts off as an ad for their transition into their next money-making venture, which is Toni's residency in Vegas. We see Toni in Vegas at rehearsal with Cedric the Entertainer. They're preparing for their show. Everybody's all excited. Okay. And back in Atlanta at Trina's house, we see that Trina is hosting her own cooking show on the internet with her husband. She's invited her mom over to cameo on the cooking show because she made a cameo on her mom and Tamar's cooking show. And in Trina's words, she won't be outdone. Girl, well, Trina's in the kitchen trying to boss her mama around. Her mama is just going along to get along. Like, girl, I've been cooking long before you ever came along, but I'm gonna play along with you. Go ahead. Well, they cook whatever they gonna cook, and Trina tells her mom that she's planning to surprise Toni and show up at her premiere night in Vegas. She said both she and Tamar are planning on going. And mama said, oh, that's nice. So, okay, y'all gonna surprise her. Okay, that's good. Well, speaking of surprises, I don't want you to get over there and have no surprises. So how you doing with your grieving? And no offense, but you're drinking and you're eating. One damn thing a black mama gonna do is get it in there that you was eating now. Don't misunderstand. I know you're going through something, but you're eating. Eat just a little bit less. You might feel better. Now, her mama cleaned it up in a very black mama way. She said, now, I'm only asking because you said you was eating and drinking your feelings. And I just, I want to make sure your feelings are right, because, that bothered me as a mother. That bothered me. You're going to throw some damn guilt in there on top of everything else, because, it hurt me to see you going through this. I know it's hard for you, but it's even harder for me. Trina said, oh, no, I understand, because I did say I was eating and drinking my feelings, but since going to counseling, things have been dramatically better. She said she can sleep at night. She's not cooking at 2 o'clock in the morning anymore. And I think it was just the opportunity to speak it and get it off her chest. Something my mother always told me is that confession is the beginning of healing. And that a lot of the times, the thing that's stopping you from getting past the thing is not being able to speak a thing. But once you can speak a thing, you can release that thing. And I think that's what happened for Trina. She was able to speak the thing. She was able to give voice to her grief so that she could process it and release it. Her mama said, oh, Trina, that's the best news I done heard, and I don't know how long. I said, just as black mama dramatic. Trina said, I had to release myself. I was in a dark place, and I had to come to the realization that while it's okay to grieve, Traci would want me to live. She wouldn't want me to live in my grief. She said to her mom, I want to live. I want to go on and be here for my sons and be here for my husband. And there's so many more things that I want to accomplish. And I don't want you to lose another child. I said, yeah, she get that guilt tripping. Honestly, there you go. That's daughter code for talk to me nice. See you on this TV on your best behavior. But you know how you be acting when these people ain't around. Talk to me nice. Her mom said, well, I don't want to lose another child either. I don't want to lose anybody. I thank God for everybody. Her mama said, it's been nice and we gonna talk to each other nice, but I'm going home. I'm tired of this. All right, see you later. Now, God forgive me, but we move on and we go to Towanda doing some podcast interview about her and her alopecia. Now, she did admit finally in this interview, at the beginning of the interview, that her choosing to wear her bald head was a twofold thing. That she did shave her head in solidarity with Traci, but she also didn't want people to know that she had alopecia. Well, they asked the one question we all want to know. Why now? Why now is this your brand banner and war cry? Why? She said it's because she felt like she could inspire others. If she let people know that she was unashamed and she embraced her diagnosis, it would encourage other people to do the same thing because it's nothing to be ashamed of. I just would like to know, when in the motivational speaker hell did you take up this mantle and decide this was your ministry? I can't. So the podcast host said, well, nobody would have ever known if you didn't decide to share it. So what pushed you to share it now? She said, no, well, what happened was she was starting a skincare line, and the person that she was partnering with to start the skincare line thought that it would be a good idea for her to share her diagnosis with the world. And she said she didn't want to do that without first sharing it with Sean. So she immediately, after having this conversation with her business partner, went to Sean, and she makes this conversation where she just kind of casually slides in there that I have alopecia. And Sean said, hold on, wait a minute, we ain't gonna slide past that. And y'all know we've known each other for 30 years and I've hid this from him all this time, and just, okay. And she, of course, transitions into promoting her skincare, scalp care, alopecia line, something, child. This episode is one big ad. This is where you can find us and what you can buy from us after this season, and that's what this is. So then we move on and we see Tamar and some of her friends, background singers, entourage, some of her people, going to see a healer, a spiritual advisor named Taz, who is able to communicate with people who have transitioned and passed on. And she is going to clear some of the energy between Traci and Tamar. So the guy, Rob, starts out by explaining to the spiritual healer, Taz, that part of what I guess brought Tamar there today is that they went to the birthday celebration for Traci, and at the celebration they had that conversation amongst the sisters where Trina says to Tamar that around the time of Traci's death, y'all were basically at odds, and that really hurt Tamar. So that, I guess, is part of why she's here to talk to the spiritual advisor, because this is as close as I can get to talking to Traci. And since we had beef, I need to talk to her about it. So essentially, this is like her going to see the lady in Ghost, like who Whoopi Goldberg was. And now everybody don't believe in that. Everybody got their own individual beliefs. But she said she done figured out how she going to talk to her sister, and she going to see what's up. So the healer said she was able to connect to Traci's energy. She said Traci's energy initially came through very emotional and very apologetic. She said the first words that she was hearing from Traci to Tamar were, I'm sorry. She said, before I passed, there were a lot of things that I did that I wish I could have done differently. Just know that I love each and every one of you, and know that you're my baby. And what do you do with a baby? You try to protect it. And that's what I've always tried to do with you. And if I hurt you or disappointed you in any way, I am sorry. And when I tell you I felt that as a big sister, I felt that because in real life, I've had that moment with my sister where I've gone to my sister and said, listen, my goal was to always be the best sister I could be. And sometimes I fell short of that. And for the times that I may have hurt you or disappointed you, I ask that you forgive me. So when I tell you I felt that in the pits of my everything, I felt that. And the healer wrapped by saying, Traci said, all she wants you to know is that you're very loved and protected. And she asked Tamar, is there anything that you would like to say to her? And Tamar started by saying, yeah, I have a lot of regrets. She broke down explaining that she didn't get the chance to be the sister that she wanted to be to Traci. And the healer said that Traci's energy was saying that, listen, just like any family, we had our differences from time to time. And Tamar said, but I loved my sister. The healer said Traci's energy is saying, I know that. Tamar very tearfully explained that she understands that she and Traci didn't always have the best relationship, but at the end of Traci's life, she did her best to be the best sister she could and be there for Traci. She just doesn't feel like she had enough time to make it right. And the healer explained to Tamar that Traci's energy was there comforting her, saying that I know the love that you had for me, and the time does not matter. You were there for me. And the time that we spent together where you showed me love and support, that's what matters. And quite honestly, in my own experience with death, and I've had a good bit of experience with it, I find that to be true. It is amazing the way that love supersedes life and death and body and breath, and it just is bigger than life itself. It does not matter sometimes what some of the disagreements were like. And as a matter of fact, the clarity that death brings, the finality that death brings, makes you really understand just how minute certain things were, that it really wasn't that deep, that it really wasn't that big a deal, that if I knew then what I know now, maybe I wouldn't have put as much energy into that. So I really hope that this brought Tamar some comfort and peace and freedom and release from what she's going through and the guilt that she's feeling, because love truly does overcome a multitude of things. And I also respect Tamar's transparency in her seeking some sort of higher understanding, higher connection, some sort of oneness with herself, with God, with knowing that there's just something more than whatever I got going on, whatever I'm doing. It's like she's kind of on this journey for peace, even for understanding of self. And I really respect her transparency about it. So the healer goes on to say that Traci said her only wish at this point is to see her sisters and her family come together as one. Tamar said, Tamar tears dried up real quick. Like, hey, now you're doing too much. I came here to see about me and you. I don't know about me and them. The healer said, because Traci said that she sees from the other side that her passing didn't bring y'all together to grieve as a family like it should have. It has caused some sort of division, and she wants y'all to get that together. Tamar said in the confessional that her commitment is to herself first, and she is committed to always doing what's best for her, being there for herself, being there for her mom and for her sisters as needed. And she realizes that maybe she wasn't always the best sister in the past, but she is committed to being the best sister she can be and being there for her sisters as much as she can be today and going forward. So she gonna do her best to honor Traci's wishes. So they bring this Heaven Hotline meeting to a close with the healer saying that Traci says she wants Tamar to go forth happy, knowing that she is loved and protected and that Traci is walking with her all the way. So we move on and we get to Toni's opening night of her Vegas residency. Her sisters and her mom are there to support her. They're all concerned about her health and hoping that she doesn't have any health scares. I'm sure she'll be fine. She performs. She looks amazing. Just girl, carry on. Now they can carry on till they get to this little destiny swap thing they got going on where she's supposed to be the comedian and Cedric the entertainer is going to be the singer. Please, like, play with somebody else. Live out your fantasies on your own time. But not when these people done paid for their tickets and took off their jobs and This part of the show need to be the intermission, because why? Tamar said the same thing in the confessional I said. Tamar said nobody come here to see Toni Braxton crack jokes. Toni has a successful opening night. We see Tamar and Trina go backstage to celebrate with her. Then we move on and we see their mom, Trina, and Towanda going out to lunch or dinner. They at a restaurant having drinks and food. Now, Miss Evelyn is in the confessional explaining to us that the reason Tamar was at the show but is not at dinner with them is because Tamar had to fly back to Atlanta to be with her child. I guess she didn't have a babysitter for but so long, but I think really what it is she ain't quite ready to honor Traci's wishes. I ain't messing with y'all like that. And Miss Evelyn in the confessional just as lost in La La Land by that's who my daughters are. They kids come first. No, she ain't messing with her sisters. And I mean, I don't know if the mama too far behind either. So Towanda out of nowhere announces that she and Trina got a phone call that day that they are to participate in Toni's next show. But they don't know what they're doing. And the mom was like, well, what you mean? Y'all don't know what y'all doing? Towanda said, I told you I don't know nothing yet. Trina said, but you always know what's going on. So how you don't know? Then mama said, well, y'all don't know what y'all got going on, but I'm about to go figure out what I got going on. I'm going to pull my outfit together. Trina said, they call you to get on stage too? She said, no, I just want to look good. I don't know what kind of life y'all living. So now Towanda goes from saying that she has no idea what's going on and why they were asked to participate in the show to explaining in the confessional that Toni said that Cedric is going to pull them up as this interview bit that he does. That apparently, I guess, it's a part of the show where he pulls people from the audience and does some sort of an interview with them and makes it an interactive show. But rather than using some random audience members, Toni suggested using her sisters. And she goes on to say that it doesn't worry her at all that Toni sprung this on them at the last minute because she's a trained actress and a trained liar too. Because you knew what the hell was going on. You produced this whole segment. Just girl, man, damn play with somebody else. Now they discussing what are they gonna wear to get on stage, and they don't know what to put on because they don't know what they gonna be doing. And Trina's up there about, do I wear something sparkly? Do I put on panties? See, this why Toni don't like y'all half the time. This why she don't like y'all participating in her shit and following her around. Because why would you need to ask, do you need to put on drawers to go be in the middle of your damn superstar sister show? Why? Always looking for a damn moment. Just go put some drawers on and go sit down. Towanda had to remind Trina of some experience she had back in 7th grade where she didn't have on no drawers and learned a whole life lesson. That was God teaching you way back then. Don't come up here embarrassing you and us with that bullshit. So now we move on to night 2 of Toni's tour, and Toni is in the confessional giving us the real tea. Toni said it was Cedric's idea to do this interview bit with her sisters, and Cedric said he thought it would be even funnier if her sisters weren't all the way in on it. So what that tells me is somebody went to Cedric, and nobody went to Toni, and this wasn't Toni's idea, and Toni didn't want her sisters in the show. Somebody went to somebody behind Toni and had them come to Toni and tell her sister's gonna be in this show. And that's why Toni gonna be with y'all. Toni says so she just as interested as the rest of us to see exactly what this show is going to be. I'll be damned. So they get to the segment of the show where Cedric is bringing the sisters out. He brings out Towanda and Trina, and he's asking them these random questions about their childhood and their history with Toni. And they're sharing all these songs they used to sing as kids and where their names came from. And they flash to their mama in the audience. I'll be damned if the lady sitting next to her in the audience ain't side-eyeing her like, get your damn kids. We ain't paid for this. So as they're singing some toilet paper song that they sang as kids, Cedric has them to stand up and say, we're going to find somebody in the audience that's going to come sing this song, which is just any random person. So who pops up but Towanda boyfriend Sean? So he comes walking up to Wanda with her trained actress self, can't even act surprised about, oh, you know the song, honey, are you coming up to sing the song? And he like, no, I don't know the song. So Trina asks, well, what is you up here for? He starts explaining that, well, yeah, 8 years ago is the encore. 8 years ago is when we reconnected, and 8 means so much to me because it's the number of new beginnings, and I just have one question to ask you. And she, oh my God, and Trina back there screaming like a damn banshee. He act like either it's a struggle for him to get down or it's a struggle for him to get down on one knee. He finally gets down on one knee. Towanda, see Braxton, will you marry me? Yes, I'll marry you. Let me tell you why this moment pissed me off. This pissed me off for a number of reasons. Number one, if you're going to do this in the middle of the Toni Braxton's Vegas residency on a TV show, could you at least dress it up and make it real for me? I mean, could you put on a suit, put on a button up, look like you intended to do this shit? I don't know, maybe I'm shallow, but while I'm in my shallow bag, this would have also pissed me off if I was Toni, because you know, y'all remember when Tamar lost her shit, when Vaughn proposed to Trina at her birthday vacation weekend dinner, whatever they were at, I low-key thought Tamar was kind of crazy at the time. I'm like, why is she acting like this? This ain't even her particular dinner. They just all at dinner. It just happens to be her weekend. This right here would have pissed me off. If y'all don't take y'all country apple asses to the Applebee's with this bullshit, y'all did not get y'all ass up in the middle of my show. Ain't nobody told me what the hell is going on for you and your forever boyfriend to come up here in some shirt he just bought from JCPenney today, but he want to propose to you in the middle of my show so y'all can have a scene for this TV show after I done put all my business out here for y'all to have a TV show. This would have been the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm shallow. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's just how I feel. Toni was probably in the back. Like, that's why I can't never have nice shit. I can't never have shit to myself. They out there with this bullshit. Now they all on the stage hugging and trying to muster up tears like they didn't plan this whole damn scene. Like, play with somebody else. Toni in the confessional talking about, I'm so happy for Towanda right now. I was just so excited. I was backstage and I just wanted to run out and celebrate with them. But the director said, don't you even think about it. I bet he did. Now Toni backstage, but I'm so excited. excited for you, but she in the confessional throwing all kinds of shade. She's in the confessional talking about, oh, I'm so happy for them. And Sean has such a big heart, and I'm so happy that he's ready to put a ring on it. I mean, it took him 10 years, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long it took. It's happening. Just damn. So we move on. We see Toni, Towanda, Trina, and their mom going to dinner. They're celebrating Toni having the first 2 successful nights of her show, Towanda getting engaged, and they're reminiscing about all of their memories about Traci. And that's essentially how the episode, the scene, the season came to an end, with them basking in the moment and kind of reminiscing over moments from the season. And I'm gonna tell you, there's a clip that they played in these clips that they did not play throughout the season that absolutely resonated with me. As they were playing the different clips of them filming the scenes throughout the season, there's a clip of the conversation between Von, Trina, Sean, and Towanda. That scene where Towanda got all upset because she heard that they invited Big Kevin to do an interview. In that scene, they show a clip of Trina saying that she feels like all of Traci's life, Traci never felt like she had a voice. And she believes that that's why Traci's cancer was esophageal. She said, there, I said it. And I said, thank God, I'm glad somebody did. Because I have always thought that. I have always thought that. I have always felt that. And it was one of those things that I just didn't want to say out loud. And I'm so glad Trina said it. I am a big believer that spiritual ailments will manifest themselves physically. And for Traci to have been this person that felt so suppressed, and seemingly all of the relationships in her life, where she didn't really get to blossom, be it in the relationships in her life or even in her talent itself, I feel like she felt stifled. And every time she tried to speak up for herself, she was met with combativeness. And I feel like she learned to just swallow everything. And I think Trina is absolutely right when she says that she feels like Traci feeling like she never had a voice, feeling so stifled and silenced, manifested itself through this esophageal cancer. Now, I know that might sound absolutely crazy to some people, and everybody has their own belief systems, and you connect and believe how you connect and believe, but that really resonated with me, and I've always thought that. I just never wanted to be the one to say it. And they wrapped the season with their mom talking about how proud she is of all of her children and grandchildren and them toasting to their family. Trina said, Braxton season 1, that's a wrap. Her mama said, thank God. I said, me too. Thank God. Because this has been quite the mess. I hope y'all cut that young man his check and go sit down somewhere with y'all bullshit. And I do not think they having any kind of a reunion or a season wrap-up. Hell, I don't think they having a family reunion. I think this just it. And so I guess that's it. That's all. And I ain't got no more. Thank you so much for coming down here listening to me and let me get this off my chest. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you've not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, you know I love you and I mean it. Bye.